In the last 100 years, Kenya has recorded 28 drought cycles, 3 of which have occurred in the last decade alone. And the result has often been complete and total crop failures and livestock deaths, especially in these areas that are considered arid and semi-arid, leaving them with frequent food shortages. The number of Kenyans in need of food aid has been estimated at over 2 million, this time affecting traditionally rain-sufficient regions as well, such as Western Kenya.
When I come to maize, we planted about 1,280 hectares of maize. And what we're expecting to harvest is less than 600 bags of maize.
Michael Nyange is among the millions of people who are now a statistic of the drought situation. He's HIV positive, and that means that an empty stomach takes a serious toll on him.
Cha usiku peke yake ndo tunapika chakula cha kutosha. Lakini mchana sasa tunashinda tu. Basi njaa ya mchana si kali sana kama ya usiku.
Today he's receiving relief food in Watate, which he says will last him only 10 days before he needs more. The problem is the food is not getting to them as fast as it is needed, with deaths already having been reported in the north of the country, even as the government says it is doing the best it can.
We are going to need a lot of food, and from our estimates, we need about 2,700 bags of maize every month.
But the sad truth is, even without a drought, there's an estimated 1 million people in the country who need food assistance at any given time.
We'll never be prepared as we should be. We should be proactive as opposed to being reactive. How do we find a permanent solution to some of these problems that the weather does not dictate to us in this country?
This interview with Abbas was in 2014, when Kenya had about the same number of people affected by drought and in need of food aid. A little more than 2 years later, that script has not changed a bit. Why is the country never prepared?
When we talk about some of the outcries we are having on climate change, sometimes it's our own doing. Both us, the policy makers, and the implementers of the policy.
As the current hunger situation is quickly deteriorating, questions have been raised about the Galana Kulalu irrigation project and what role it's playing in feeding those in need, especially at the coast. The National Irrigation Board, in its defense, says with its current acreage and seasonal harvest of 100,000 bags, it cannot sufficiently feed the coast. But that notwithstanding, it has released maize for relief activities.
Out of the entire cargo that we have produced in Galana, the State Department for Special Programs, that is charged with the responsibility of distributing relief food, has purchased about 50,000 bags from us.
But even with the lack of planning, agriculture experts say that Kenya's obsession with maize has played a huge role in fueling food insecurity. Each Kenyan is currently estimated to consume at least 90 kilos of maize per year, putting the country's total annual consumption at an average of 40 million bags. Production, however, often falls below this, meaning that even without a drought, and with maize being the SI unit of food security in Kenya, East Africa's largest economy will always be food insecure. That is unless the definition of food by Kenyan standards changes. Zeynab Wandati, NTV, for Food Friday.